In investing, I'm in my 39th year. What I've learned after making and losing more money than I ever imagined at different parts of my career, it's not how much you make, it's what you don't lose, which really going to separate you.
Just a point on the gold market, since you're one of the most recognizable faces in this sector, Peter. Obviously, frustration from gold investors as we tiptoed around 2000. There's cheer to only come back down. I know other gold bugs will say, "Well, just see it as a buying opportunity," but still, it's frustrating to always get near the 2000 level to only come back down. What's your take?
Well, I don't consider myself a gold bug. I was out of it for 5 years. You're the one that dragged me back into all of this and doing interviews and everything, but which I'm happy for, as you know. I think you're one of if not the best, you're in the top 1%. How about that? So, in investing, I'm in my 39th year. What I've learned after making and losing more money than I ever imagined at different parts of my career, it's not how much you make, it's what you don't lose, which really going to separate you. And what gold has proven time and time again is it's proven what it really was set out to be, and that was a safety valve, an item to have when things become difficult. We've seen that, and that's why we see these liquidation periods when financial assets turn down. But never has that market, that industry, been in the shape that it's been in now. For years, it was always, as soon as the market took off, these mining companies would leverage themselves up, buy all these projects and get involved in all places in the world, run into problems, and then as soon as the gold price turned down, they collapse. This time, the mining companies, especially the majors, are in phenomenal shape. They're kicking off great free cash flow. They're involved now, especially those that are looking for base metals and all, recognizing how the world has foregone and not realized if you're going to have all these wonderful things, electric cars, all these type of EGS things, you need base metals and you need certain types of metals. So from the major standpoint, they're in great shape. The junior market is always a struggle. It's even more difficult now for a variety of reasons. But the gold price itself, I have used this 10-year chart. I've never seen, it's the best bullish chart I've ever seen in any market. It's commonly known as a cup and handle. And if you look over the last 10 years, we have traced out a near perfect technical pattern known as a cup and handle. The handle's just about to be completed. So I will risk and go out and say that I think the next $500 or 1,000 is up, not down. I don't know exactly when, but I think the risk of loss in gold is so minimum versus what still is going to happen to people that own a lot of stocks and bonds.
So it's about preserving your wealth. And so, what do you say? What's your response to folks like Max Kaiser?
Gold is not moving because you don't have genuine price discovery in gold because there's too much of concentrated in a too few
It is
hands.
moving, but you want leaps and bounds. Is
No, it's
that
not
the kind
moving.
of
Over
move you
10
want?
years, it's done nothing. It's at 0% in 10 years. It's been dead money for 10 years, Daniela.
Why would you be in that?
Well, I don't want to get into name calling, so let's just say that that is not someone, including the other person who's the most advocate for Bitcoin itself, is someone that I would listen to and trust with my own capital. What I will say is this: for some reason, unknown reason, it worked for a couple thousand years. A lot of other things came and gone, whether they were other type of monetary systems, products, services, and gold managed to stay around. It's a relic, especially to younger folks, but I'm going to say that if it worked for a couple thousand years, there's not been anything yet to tell me that it's all said and done and it's dead. And quite interesting, if I may, the thing that we were sold on about why you're supposed to own Bitcoin and own a year ago, many of those factors occurred these last few months. And what happened? It didn't go anywhere. In fact, it went lower while gold shined. So, I respect, they're entitled to their opinion. My opinion is different. And I just, like I said, the pattern now suggests to me strongly that we're on the verge of a major new gold bull cycle. It's for capital appreciation. I don't own it, Danielle, you know this. I don't own it because I don't believe in, my faith doesn't allow me to. I don't believe in Armageddon and I need to get a cabin and I'm going to need to survive and buy a loaf of bread. That's not the reason why I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it purely as, can it make money? And right now, if you took my daughter and said the only way you get it back, what's higher a year from now, stocks, bonds, or gold? it'll be gold without any question.
Wow. All right,
And
folks.
go Jets.
Hold on. Just one final thought I want to pull up before I let you go. Frank Justra. I was surprised he wrote this. I was like, wow, if he's saying this, he said, I have never been a fan of conspiracies, but in my 45 years experience in trading markets tells me that someone is deliberately suppressing the gold price, especially in the past 2 years. I suspect we will see a reset in the global monetary system sometime soon. Is there funky business going on with the gold price, Peter?
There always has been, but listen, markets, especially commodity markets, have been manipulated for a long, long time. Look, we just had where some big person was very short in a particular market in nickel, and realistically should have paid the price. They bet wrong, and they should suffer from it. Instead, they were rescued, and I believe it was the opposite. If retail people who were long would have got crushed, they wouldn't have made the same rushing. So commodity markets and markets in general have been manipulated. I think what's more important is who's saying it. You had a great debate, and I've read recently you compared to what's happened in the last year from your debate. I know where I was in that debate. Frank Justra is a man that's been highly successful for many decades in multiple industries, has a humbleness and a philanthropy attitude that you don't see in a lot of people, especially people that made money like Frank has. I've known Frank. We may differ politically, but I still respect the man. And he was debating a man that was telling everybody to sell everything you have, leverage if you have to, and put it all not just in cryptocurrency, but one cryptocurrency. Imagine, if you will, if I was saying that same thing now about gold or some penny stock, they should throw me in jail for telling people to do all that. So I measure who the people are, what's their credentials, and what real success have they had over a lot of years. So if Frank Justra says something like that, to me at least, it's very worth listening to.